My name is Tasso Christopher, and I'm very proud of being the mayor of the greatest city in the province of Ontario. And in 2017, we're celebrating our 200th birthday. What an honor. What an honor to be an elected official at a great time for a great community with great people, passionate people, great patriarchs that design and had vision for our community.
We moved from Quebec in the 70s, 1977, so in 2017 will be our 40th year in Belleville, and when we first got to Belleville, we didn't know anyone. We were new, we were leaving a province behind, coming to a new province, and I knew no one. And so I was about 7 years old at the time. It was scary for us, but we as a family embraced the community.
In late 1948-49 is when I came to Belleville as a young lad. Escaping the Civil War in Greece at the time, and we lived on Front Street. And of course, in those days, Front Street was the center of town, and the population drifted to on top of the retail shops, and that's where a lot of the new immigrants to Canada came.
It's a very welcoming type of community. You know, I'm an outsider coming from New Brunswick, but within just a short time, I felt like I'd lived here my whole life.
This town has opened its arms to me and my family. Our kids grew up here. This, to me, is my home.
It was very refreshing to me to be welcomed in the way that we were from community members who had no idea who we were. Walking down the sidewalk, people say hello.
I find it's all about the people. I mean, a community is a community is a community, but Belleville has the people that care. If there's ever a need, you know somebody's going to step up. It's not you sitting there waiting. Everybody's just, they're friendly, they're helpful. They're just wonderful people in our community.
Belleville itself is a great town of people who are enthused about where they live. I mean, you can tell from all the years on the newspaper, the feedback we got on some issues, you'd think, who cares about that? It would stir up the populace over something like bus routes. Things like that would just get people so excited. So it's an engaged community. People care about the town.
There's a certain feeling of community that you don't get in a large city. I moved here from Montreal, a very big city, cosmopolitan, beautiful city. But there's a sense of community that you can get in a smaller city like Belleville that I've found to be quite charming, quite enjoyable.
It's big enough to get lost in, but small enough that everybody knows each other and helps each other out.
You walk around town, you're going to run into somebody you know. Any time of the day, or night, you're always going to run into somebody, you know. And so you become familiar with people, and because it's such a small town feel, you know, and that's what I love about it the most.
The people are all friendly. Like it truly is a friendly town, a friendly city. The people are when you pass and walk by them, you know, everybody says hello. Everybody looks out for their neighbor. It's just one of those atmospheres that people see in the movies.
I think that's what Belleville offers, is it's that small feel where people still all have that sense of belonging and that sense of home.
Belleville is a modern city, I would say, but there's still that old-fashioned attitude of, if your barn burns down, we're going to come over and we're going to help you rebuild the barn. That's Belleville.
It's a small enough community that it isn't a big city, but it services enough people in the area that it's got a big city feel to it. But I like a small community. Having grown up in a city of a couple million people, Belleville is small enough that you can get to know so many different people, and there's still people that I don't know, but there's enough people that I do know that I love this community.
There are not a lot of places where you can come and just work hard and be an open and friendly person and succeed, and Belleville's still one of those. It's a really close-knit area where people appreciate all the things everyone does.
Belleville is a wonderful place to live, and most importantly, people are nice. They are kind, and they are happy, and they share, and they try to include all races, all people from everywhere.
Well, when I was growing up, it was the The people of the city of Belleville, for sure. I mean, they were so friendly. You know, everybody in my neighborhood growing up in North Park Street, they all had rinks in the wintertime. And, you know, if my dad was working, they'd give you a ride to the rink. And, you know, all the kids knew each other.
You always see these grand leaders of people that just pop up all over the city and really make a difference.
There's nothing like Belleville. I've traveled all over and I've never found a nice, close-knit community like Belleville. And it's got like that feel of Toronto where you've got the city stuff, but it's also that small town as well. So you get to know everyone. You go to the grocery stores and you talk to people you know and hockey arenas. And so it's great. I love it.
I've traveled all across Canada and I've seen all of it coast to coast to coast, and there's no place I'd rather be.
You're 8 hours from the biggest city in the world, New York. You're an hour and a half from Toronto. I can be to a Jays game in under 2 hours. The nation's capital, Montreal, Kingston, it's all here. So you have community, you have proximity, and of course this incredible vantage point right on the bay. It makes it an incredible place to be and live.
As an entrepreneur, this is a great place to be. I mean, we're right between Toronto and Montreal, and we're right there in the hub of things, and we're far enough away where we have that small town feel, but it really is, you know, a place where we can stay connected to, you know, to the metropolises of the East and the West. And so I really find that, like, you know, for young people, you know, the sky's the limit when you're living in a small town like this, you know, to be an entrepreneur or a social entrepreneur, whatever your passion is, to go out and do it, and you'll have such a great resource.
Geographic location is phenomenal. When you think of it, you're 3 hours from Montreal, 2.5 from Ottawa, 90 minutes to the DVP if you're going 120 on the 401. But you can get anywhere you want within a reasonable amount of time, and you still get back to the sanctity of the small town.
We have the lifestyle, our cost of living is right here. It's friendly. We got the Bay of Quinte, the fishing, we got the beaches. What don't we have? And we're still accessible to the big cities. We're only, what, an hour and a half away. It's great.
I've always liked the saying, do what you love and love what you do, but loving where you live is fundamental in finding your place and finding your home. And when people come here, they just feel at home. There's a community, there's all the amenities of the bigger centers, but we've got a sense of community here.
I don't miss the commuting because that's not a good way to spend your time sitting in a car.
People are coming from the greater Toronto area. A lot of people from Oshawa, Whitby, they're saying we're tired of the traffic, we're tired of the hectic pace in Toronto and area, and they're getting further afield and they're coming this way.
Belleville is just, it's at a point in its lifespan where we're seeing a lot of influx of people wanting a more simpler time to live and enjoy the outdoors, the water, the community. There's a real strong sense of community in Belleville.
The people that want this size of community, it's 50,000 people, it's close-knit, as other people have said. You come here and you can go to the grocery store, you can meet people you need, you can just go wherever you want and somebody's willing to help you. I think that's the biggest thing about Belleville, will help you.
Throughout all of my years, it's been a good experience to live here. And so that's part of it, the safety factor and the fact that people just get along.
There really is a sense of people wanting to help each other. And I always think of, you know, our moniker as the friendly city, which I think suits us perfectly. But I also think that we have, in our own name, Belleville, the beautiful city.
People are amazed and they're surprised every time they visit of how great the area actually is. The little intricacies, the little shops, the restaurants, the different attractions, the places to go visit to see.
The geographics here, if you go north to Tweed and the lake regions for Rideau Lakes, north of Kingston, just a little bit north of Tweed, we're right into recreational country. It's very close by.
We are a small city, and we're not Toronto, we're not Ottawa, we're a community. Very community-minded here, and everyone's got a story, and that's what I love about dealing with people. It's finding their story. Why did you move to Belleville? Why did you choose this place? And there's quite a few people like ourselves, geography or, you know, that's what brought them here, and I just love their stories.
I love the water and all the activities surrounding that because I am a boater. So I love that, love the sandbanks. And of course, that's one of the longest beaches in Ontario. So.
We've got the Bay of Quinte. You know, it's such a wonderful thing. We've got the county, and we've got the beaches over there. I mean, they're some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. I remember going to Florida the first time and going to their rocky gravel beach, and I went, "What's this? We got a better beach at home."
This beautiful, grand city of Belleville caters to what every resident needs and wants.
Got a really good mix of country, the rural sort of side of things, and nature. Lots of great things to do outdoors, but you've also got a little bit of the city too, even though it's a small city.
I like that it has everything that I need in a short distance. It's got wonderful infrastructure, hospitals, libraries, but even better is the whole nature part of the city, the waterways. I mean, people drive 1,000 miles to go see stuff like this, and it's right in my own backyard.
I could have lived anywhere as a writer. That's the only advantage you have. You can move around. I'm a very simple man. I like two things in any community that I'm in: a delicatessen and a big band. I got both here.
It's got everything that you need. It's not just a one-dimensional type of municipality. You know, in the summer, you have the access to the water.
There's so many things to do in Belleville. You know, as a kid, I remember going skating on the bay, going tobogganing at Swiggs Park, and of course going to all the different festivals. And now it's a booming area with great restaurants and shops.
My friends and I go out for dinner a lot. There's lots of things for every age group to do here, I find. So like my grandmother and I go to tea, but like that's not a social thing as much, but just going out, doing activities like bowling and different things like that.
This is a pretty cool place. And again, when you travel around the world, we take pictures of places that look just like Belleville, and we put them on Facebook, and they say, "Wow, look at this beautiful whatever." And you know what? If you just turned around here, you see the same thing in a lot of different places.
I think we've got one of the best trail systems anywhere for a mid-sized small town. We've got all along behind the hospital, then all the way up the Moira River, and I think that's just awesome the way we've got that.
And I'm lucky enough now to live about a block and a half from that trail, and I'm on that trail probably 200 out of the 200 days a year, riding my bike on it, walking it, and enjoying it.
We spend a lot of time, on the trails. We use Swiggs Park frequently. It's great. In our case, we have a wheelchair, so we can wheel around it's all paved down there.
You know, we chose this place where we wanted to raise a family. Good schools, lots of amenities, and they continue to grow. And, that's what makes Belleville really great.
This is a great place to start a family and to raise your family. And we lived in Ottawa and London and some of the bigger cities where it's very expensive, the living costs. That's what's so great about Belleville. It's affordable, and you can still enjoy a wonderful life here.
This was a fantastic place to raise my daughter, and with all the incredible green spaces and the parks and the ability to just go out there and enjoy the outdoors, I thought, this is it. This is where I'm going to raise her, and this is where our life is going to be.
It's a great place to grow up, and it's a really, really safe environment to raise a family, and that's why I stayed here after leaving for so long.
I have a young guy that's involved in hockey, involved in music, has a great school. We love a lot of things about our situation here in Belleville, so it just carried on. It's a great place to raise a young fella too.
There's something about raising a family and being part of the fabric of the community. And I think you can do that when you come back to a place this size and with the services and just the things that it has to offer.
There's lots of opportunity for kids to have a decent lifestyle with having a large center feel, but not all the problems that go along with a large center.
It's a great place to raise a family. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. You know, when I left New Brunswick, I always thought maybe I would end up in a big city like Halifax, or I would end up in Toronto at TSN. But you know what, you really come to realize how important neighborhoods are and how important schools are, and the lifestyle that we live here in Belleville far exceeds the lifestyle in the city of Toronto or the city of Halifax. Sure, there's certain things that happen in Toronto that we can't experience every day here in Belleville, but a lot of those things you wouldn't want to experience every day. And Toronto's just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road, right? If you want to go to a concert, you can go to a concert in Belleville, or you can go to a concert in Toronto too. So, you know, I think it's just the right place to raise a family.
I think there is a good future for the city, and what it's going to take is a lot of people who have great ideas and some foresight to implement those and for us to move forward.
Such a growing, vibrant community. Things are really taken off in the last few years, and I think it's the starting point for, you know, what's to come. We've got the beautiful Bay of Quinte and all of our tourism, and I think things are really growing off that.
I think that, you know, when we talk about some of the amenities coming forward now, they're the beginning of the momentum, and I think that the community is going to continue to be successful.
We have so many opportunities for people to come here and to build their businesses and to be successful entrepreneurs and bring a greater spirit into this area, which, I mean, it's already great. It can only get better.
We're growing. We're a generation that is making things happen. We're throwing possibilities out there, and Belleville is open to it.
Belleville is only expanding and growing, and it's very comfortable.
I think Belleville will continue to evolve. We're going to continue to get better, but I think all in all, the potential of this community and what we have to offer different demographics is unbelievable. And I would say this, I would say that the best is yet to come.
We're on fire. We are. This community is just, and I said this when I was in council, we are on the opportunity to grow leaps and bounds. You can see what's going on in housing right now. We have the new train terminal. Loyalist College is always expanding. We just have so much happening here, and we're going to grow, and we've got great leadership to take us where we need to go.
It's a safe community with lots of opportunity, and the best days for us are ahead of us.
I think there's a great future in Belleville if we unite in the right kind of spirit, because we don't have the same old paradigms anymore, the same old ways of doing things. We have to reinvent ourselves as a community and keep the spirit up.
We've also got some key things that are falling into place. New water developments, right? We've got 1,200 kilometers of shoreline here right on the Bay of Quinte. New Belleville Senators AHL franchise coming into town, a casino, and the infrastructure to take people in. A lot of people don't realize the amount of accommodations, branded accommodations and branded restaurants we've got to welcome people. So all of a sudden we've got all these pieces falling into the puzzle that are amazing, not just for tourism, but also for resident attraction.
It's proximity, it's diversification, and now it's casino and a professional hockey team. We are exploding, and I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I just see a wonderful future. The area won't help but grow, and because it's just too attractive. I mean, first of all, Canada is a great place to live. That's well known, one of the top countries in the world, and within that context, Ontario is really good, and Belleville and the whole Quinte area is just it's absolutely first class. It couldn't be better.
If the momentum and the excitement and the support of that word infrastructure stays in play, there's nothing but great things going to happen in this community. Nothing, absolutely nothing but great things, from economic to growth to waterfront development. It's a great time to be a citizen elected official in the city of Belleville.